For the first time since Donald Trump became president, Americans vote in a national election, this time to decide control of Congress. I'm Zaman. In the next 30 minutes, we will examine the major themes and storylines that are shaping American politics going into this midterm election. What makes the midterm election special is that it's hundreds of local elections over local issues, some of which are common throughout the nation. But no one candidate is on everybody's ballot. Here to help analyze all of this political landscape, is VOA national correspondent Jim Malone. Jim has covered American politics for VOA since President Bill Clinton's election in 1992. Jim, I'm very glad to have you here because you know so much about American politics. Now, as we just explained, the Republicans look like they're in a good spot because they control Congress, they have control of the White House. But if we look at historical trends, the road ahead is quite uncertain even for them.
It is uncertain, Sarah, and there are great historical reasons for this.
And now I would like to bring in White House Bureau Chief for Voice of America, Steve Herman. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. And you have been covering President Trump since the day he was elected. You have seen him on his domestic policy trail. You have seen him on overseas trips. What I want to know is, now that he's campaigning for other candidates from Republican Party, what's the energy like when he takes the stage? How does the crowd respond to him?
You really don't get the full effect from watching it on television, I can tell you that. So it's quite entertaining.
Jim, we saw something in your package, and I want to take both of your views on that. What Michael Steele was saying, that if you make the election about yourself, the president, then every candidate has to account for what you say. Now, when we look at numbers, President Trump's approval ratings are about 44–45% right now. Among Republicans, he has solid lead, 88%. But when we look at independents, his approval ratings are about 36%. So when a Republican candidate is trying to get attention from these independents, what does President Trump's endorsement for such a candidate mean?
Most of the appeals in this campaign and for the last few years have been directed at party activists.
And one of the central issues in this election is economy. America's economy has, in fact, been one of the most important indicators of election success. Unemployment right now is at a near 50-year low. Paychecks reflect tax cuts promoted by the president and the Republican Congress. And the U.S. economy is expanding at a healthy rate. VOA congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson went to Fargo, North Dakota, to see whether the economy is making a difference with voters.